You can spend hours in the gym, follow the perfect workout split, track every macro, and still feel like your body's holding back, like it's just not responding the way it should. And here's the kicker. It's not always about training harder. Sometimes it's about living smarter. There are daily habits, simple, often invisible habits, that could be sabotaging your gains without you even realizing it. And no, I'm not talking about the basics like eat more protein or sleep 8 hours. You've heard those 1,000 times. I'm talking about the real difference makers, the ones nobody's telling you about, the ones that don't show up on the first page of Google, but completely change the game once you dial them in. These aren't hacks. These aren't trends. These are biological levers that flip your body into full-on muscle-building mode. I've seen guys go from frustrated to unstoppable just by adjusting one of these. No new supplements, no fancy gear. Just better habits that support what you're already doing in the gym. Think about it. How many times have you felt like you're doing everything right, but the mirror doesn't show it? That's not a training problem. That's a systems problem. You're working hard, but your body's stuck in survival mode. These 10 habits shift that. They allow your body to receive the training you're doing, to recover better, to grow faster, to finally respond the way you know it should. And if you're serious about building a physique that turns heads, one that looks powerful even in a hoodie, then this isn't optional. These 10 habits? They're non-negotiable. Once you apply them, your body can't help but grow. It's like unlocking a hidden switch you didn't know existed. This is the stuff that separates lifters who look like they train from those who just move weight around. It's not just about effort, it's about alignment. Align your habits with your goals, and your progress will skyrocket. Ignore them, and you'll keep spinning your wheels, wondering why nothing's changing. If this is already hitting close to home, hit that subscribe button, because what's coming next might just change the way you train forever. 1. Flip the switch. Activate the right system after training. You just crushed your workout. Weights were flying, sweat was dripping, heart pounding. Feels good, right? But here's the part no one talks about. Your body isn't building muscle during that chaos. It's actually in fight or flight mode. Your sympathetic nervous system is cranked to the max, focusing on survival, not growth. The real gains happen after the workout, when your body shifts into recovery mode. That's the parasympathetic nervous system. Rest and digest. And the faster you can switch into that state, the faster your body can start repairing tissue, rebuilding muscle, and adapting to the stress you just put it through. Most people finish training and just move on with their day, scrolling their phone, rushing to the next task, still in that amped-up state. They miss the most powerful window for recovery. But when you take 5 to 10 minutes to slow your breath, you flip the switch. Deep, diaphragmatic breathing isn't just for yogis. It's for serious lifters who want serious results. Think about it like this. You just spent an hour tearing your body down. Now, give it permission to rebuild. Slow inhale through the nose. Hold. Long exhale through the mouth. 4 seconds in. 2 seconds hold. 6 seconds out. Repeat. That's it. Feels almost too simple, but it works. Science backs it. Athletes who did this had cortisol levels drop by more than 25% in just 30 minutes. That kind of hormonal shift means better sleep, better nutrient absorption, and better muscle repair. It's why some elite gyms have massage chairs and chill-out rooms, not to pamper you, but to kickstart this exact biological process. Once you understand how powerful this is, it's no longer optional. It becomes part of your training. But that's just one piece of the puzzle. The next one is even more overlooked. and it's probably costing you results at every single meal. 2. Build muscle with your mouth. Why digestion starts. Before swallowing, you can eat the cleanest, highest quality meals on the planet. But if your body isn't actually absorbing the nutrients, you're wasting time, money, and muscle. Most people think digestion starts in the stomach. Wrong. It starts way earlier. Right in your mouth. Chewing is the first mechanical step in digestion. When you chew your food properly, 20 to 30 times per bite, you're not just breaking it down, you're activating enzymes in your saliva that begin digesting carbohydrates and signaling your gut to prepare for nutrient absorption. But here's the problem. Most of us chew like we're in a race. 10 bites max. Swallow. Done. That habit is costing you gains. Big time. When you rush through meals, your body isn't primed to break down and absorb proteins, amino acids, or micronutrients efficiently. It's like stuffing logs into a fireplace without lighting the match. You're sending fuel, but there's no fire to process it. There's real data behind this. A study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that people who chewed 30 times per bite absorbed significantly more protein, 12% more, than those who barely chewed. That's not a small difference. That's more amino acids available to repair and grow your muscles with every meal. Start small. On your next meal, count how many times you chew each bite. You'll probably be shocked. It's way less than you think. Now aim for 20, even 30 chews. It'll feel weird at first, like you're wasting time. But after a week or two, it becomes second nature. And once your digestion improves, so does your energy, your recovery, your physique. If you deal with bloating, poor appetite, or just feel like your meals sit heavy, that's a sign your digestion's off. You might even consider digestive enzymes before high-protein meals. They're not magic pills, but for some people, they fill in the gaps and help your body actually use the food you're giving it. You're already training hard. You're already eating right. Now it's time to extract every drop of value from those meals. And the best part? You don't need to buy anything. Just slow down and chew. Your muscles will thank you. But hold on, because the next habit? It's going to challenge one of the biggest myths in the fitness world. 3. The truth about tension. Why mixing training styles accelerates growth. One of the biggest mistakes lifters make, especially those chasing hypertrophy, is thinking there's only one way to stimulate muscle growth. Heavy weights, low reps, right? That's what the big guys do. But here's the truth. Your body doesn't just grow from load. It grows from stress. And stress comes in different forms. There are two key types of tension your muscles respond to: mechanical and metabolic. Mechanical is what you get from lifting heavy. Big compounds, low reps, full rest. It tears fibers down and builds density. But metabolic tension? That's the burn. That deep, nasty pump from higher reps, shorter rests, and time under tension. And guess what? Both are essential. Here's where most people mess up. They choose one and ignore the other. They either live in the strength zone, always doing 5 reps and resting 3 minutes, or they chase the pump and never touch heavy weight. Both camps are missing out. The real gains come when you combine and alternate between the two. A study from the Journal of Physiology showed that athletes who rotated between mechanical and metabolic training every week gained over 20% more muscle in 4 months than those who stuck to just one style. Think about that. Same gym time, same effort. 20% more growth. Just by switching the stimulus. In practice, it's simple. You could train heavy on Mondays and Thursdays, 4 to 6 reps, full rest, classic strength-building work. Then switch gears midweek. On Wednesdays and Fridays, go metabolic, 12 to 20 reps, short rests, chase the pump, get uncomfortable. You're still training hard, but now you're hitting muscle from every angle, in every way it can grow. Your body loves variety when it's done with structure. It stops adapting. It starts evolving. By changing the kind of stress you apply, you reignite progress and avoid plateaus. This isn't about training harder. It's about training smarter. And speaking of smart, your results aren't just about what happens in the gym. The next habit proves that what's happening inside your gut could be the reason your muscles aren't growing the way they should. 4. Gut check. Why your digestive health is holding back your gains. You can be hitting your macros, eating clean, and spending a fortune on supplements. But if your gut's not working properly, you're not absorbing any of it the way you should. Sounds dramatic, but it's real. Your gut isn't just a food processor. It's a command center. Some call it the second brain. I'd argue it's the secret weapon you've been ignoring. Here's the uncomfortable truth. If your gut is inflamed, out of balance, or overloaded with junk, it's like trying to build muscle with the brakes on. You're sending fuel, but it's not reaching the engine. You're eating protein, but only absorbing a fraction. All those gains you think you're chasing? They're slipping right through your digestive cracks. Most people have no idea how much their gut health impacts their recovery, their inflammation levels, even their hormone production. And yet, they're downing artificial sweeteners daily, crushing zero-calorie energy drinks, and thinking no sugar means no consequences. But the research is clear. Just 2 weeks of consuming fake sweeteners like sucralose or aspartame can slash your gut bacterial diversity by up to 50%. That's not just bad news for digestion, it's a disaster for nutrient absorption and inflammation control. Your gut decides what gets absorbed and what gets flushed. When it's overwhelmed, your body prioritizes defense, not growth. That means less muscle, slower recovery, and more fatigue. It's like trying to renovate a house while there's a gas leak. First priority? Fix the leak. So what do? Start simple. Add fermented foods like kefir, kombucha, or plain yogurt a few times a week. These are natural probiotics that help restore balance. Next, give your gut some fiber, the kind it actually wants. Vegetables, fruits, oats, legumes. These feed your good bacteria and help rebuild your digestive ecosystem. You don't need to overhaul your life overnight, but every time you choose whole food over processed junk, every time you swap soda for water, every time you add fiber or fermented foods, you're building a gut that works for you, not against you. And when your digestion's firing on all cylinders, everything else improves. Energy, mood, metabolism, and yes, gains. But gut health is just the beginning. The next habit deals with 2 silent deficiencies that are probably wrecking your progress without you even knowing it. 5. Deficiency destroys. Gains. Why you can't ignore vitamin D and magnesium. You're training hard. You're eating right. But for some reason, you're still not seeing the results you expected. Maybe your sleep sucks. Maybe your recovery feels slow. Or maybe your strength isn't going anywhere. Before you start changing your program or buying a new supplement stack, stop and ask, are you missing the basics? Vitamin D and magnesium. 2 of the most underrated and most critical nutrients when it comes to muscle growth, strength, and recovery. And here's the twist. Most people are deficient in both, like severely deficient. We're talking more than 70% of the global population walking around with low vitamin D levels. And magnesium? Same story. Let's start with vitamin D. It's not just a vitamin. It's a pre-hormone that influences over 2,000 genes in your body, including the ones that regulate testosterone and muscle repair. One study showed that men with optimal vitamin D levels had testosterone levels that were 20% higher than those who were deficient. 20%. That's massive. Now pair that with magnesium, which is involved in over 600 enzymatic reactions, many of which are tied directly to energy production and protein synthesis. If you're low on magnesium, your body literally can't perform at full capacity. Your muscle contractions suffer, your cortisol rises, your recovery slows down. It's like trying to race with a flat tire and wondering why you're not winning. The fix? Get outside. Expose your skin to sunlight for 15 to 20 minutes a day, ideally between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. That alone can boost your vitamin D naturally. If that's not possible, especially in winter, then yes, supplement. Most people do well with 2,000 to 5,000 IU per day, but get a blood test if you can. For magnesium, load up on dark leafy greens, pumpkin seeds, almonds, and yes, even dark chocolate. And if your training is intense, consider supplementing with 300 to 400 milligrams per day. It's a small investment for a massive return in performance, mood, and recovery. These aren't flashy hacks. These are foundational. And if you're overlooking them, no amount of advanced training will make up for it. Fix the deficiencies, and your body will finally have the tools it needs to grow. Now, speaking of recovery, there's one more move that most lifters never make, but it can completely reset your progress and prevent burnout. That's what's coming next. 6. The reset you're avoiding. Why you need a deload week. Let's get real for a second. Most lifters train like they're trying to punish themselves. Week after week, month after month, heavy lifts, zero breaks, always pushing harder. And at first, it works. You feel like a machine. But then something shifts. You hit a plateau, your joints start screaming, motivation drops, and every session starts to feel like a chore. Sound familiar? That's your body asking, begging for a reset. And that's exactly where a deload week comes in. But here's the problem. Most people see deloading as being soft. They think backing off means they're slacking. What they don't realize is that strategic rest isn't weakness, it's wisdom. A deload is not about skipping the gym or getting lazy. It's a planned reduction in training volume and intensity, about 40 to 50% less. You still train, you still move, but you give your body and nervous system a chance to catch up, rebuild, and come back stronger. Think of it like sharpening a knife. You don't wait until it's completely dull. You maintain it before it fails. A well-timed deload prevents overtraining, resets your motivation, and breaks through strength plateaus that just won't budge. In fact, some of the best gains happen after a deload, because your body is finally recovered enough to grow again. How do you know it's time? Look for the signs. Your lifts have stalled for more than 2 weeks. Your sleep quality is trash. You've got nagging joint pain, or your motivation to train has flatlined. If you've got 2 or more of those, you're not being hardcore, you're being reckless. It's time to pull back and reload. Deload every 6 to 8 weeks. You'll come back hungrier, sharper, and stronger. It's not a step backward, it's the launch pad for your next level. And if you're chasing longevity and not just short-term pumps, this habit is non-negotiable. But while we're on the topic of performance boosters, let's talk about the one supplement that's actually worth the hype, and why most people still mess it up. 7. The most researched supplement ever. Why creatine still wins. There's a lot of hype in the supplement world. Every few months, there's some new miracle powder promising to melt fat or pack on slabs of muscle. But here's the truth. The real champion of muscle-building supplements has been here all along. It's called creatine, and if you're not taking it, you're leaving gains on the table. period. Creatine isn't just some supplement. It's the most researched, most proven performance enhancer in sports nutrition history. Over 500 peer-reviewed studies confirm what lifters have known for decades. It helps you build muscle, get stronger, and recover faster. And yet, myths still surround it. It causes hair loss. It damages kidneys. It's only for bodybuilders. None of it is true. Let's clear it up. Your body already produces creatine. You also get a bit from foods like red meat and fish. But to actually saturate your muscles and unlock its full power, you'd have to eat several pounds of meat per day. Not exactly realistic. That's where supplementation comes in. And it works. A meta-analysis published in the Journal of Strength and Conditioning Research showed that creatine users gained an average of 8% more strength and 14% more rep performance in just 4 weeks. 4 weeks. That's not marginal. That's game-changing. So how does it work? Simple. Creatine increases your stores of phosphocreatine, which your muscles use to regenerate ATP, your energy currency during short, intense efforts. That means more power, more reps, more weight lifted. And guess what? More stimulus equals more growth. Over time, those extra reps turn into real muscle. Real progress. Worried about side effects? Don't be. Study after study has shown that creatine is safe for healthy individuals, even over the long term. No, it doesn't fry your kidneys. No, it doesn't make you go bald. The worst thing it might do? Hold a little extra water inside your muscle cells, which, by the way, makes your muscles look fuller. Sounds like a win to me. And no, I'm not sponsored. I'm not pushing a brand. I'm telling you this because it works. If there's one supplement you should actually count on, it's this one. Just 5 grams per day, every day. No cycles, no loading phase, no fancy formulas. Keep it simple. Stay consistent. But don't think creatine alone will carry you. It works best when paired with progressive training. And that's exactly where we're headed next. 8. Progress or plateau. Why load? Progression is everything. Let's cut the noise. You can have the best genetics, perfect form, clean diet, the right supplements. But if you're not progressing, you're not growing. Period. Muscle doesn't care about your intentions. It responds to stimulus. And stimulus comes from one thing: progressive overload. But here's where most people get it twisted. They think progression means slapping more weight on the bar every week. And yeah, that works, until it doesn't. You can't increase forever. So what happens? You plateau, your form breaks down, and injuries creep in. That's when people start blaming their routine or their genetics, when in reality, they just stopped progressing smart. See, progression isn't just about weight. It's about challenge. You can add reps, shorten rest time, increase sets, improve tempo, pause longer under tension. All of those are forms of progression. And every single one sends a loud message to your body. Adapt or fall behind. You need a system, a way to track what you're doing. Not just in your head, on paper, or in an app. Record your sets, reps, weight, rest, and tempo. Then, each week, aim to improve one variable. Just one. Over time, these micro-wins stack up into serious transformation. One study from the University of Oklahoma tracked 2 groups for 8 months. One group trained without tracking or targeting progress. The other tracked every workout and focused on consistent overload. The results? The second group gained 41% more strength and 27% more muscle. No extra hours, no extra exercises, just structure and progression. This is the difference between training and just working out. One has a purpose. The other is just sweat. Don't chase random intensity. Chase structured improvement. That's how you get results that last. Now, speaking of what lasts, there's a myth out there that cardio kills gains. But the truth, the right kind of cardio might be exactly what your body's missing to unlock the next level of performance and recovery. Let's get into it. 9. Cardio kills gains? Not if you do it right. You've heard it. You've probably believed it. Cardio kills your gains. But here's the truth. When done right, cardio doesn't destroy muscle. It supports it. The problem isn't cardio itself. It's how people do it, when they do it, and why they do it. So let's set the record straight. Muscle growth isn't just about lifting. It's about blood flow, nutrient delivery, recovery, and systemic health. And guess what supports all of that? Cardio. Done strategically, it increases capillarization, tiny blood vessels that deliver oxygen and nutrients directly to your muscle fibers. It also improves mitochondrial function, making your body more efficient at generating energy and recovering from intense effort. The result? You sleep better, you recover faster, your muscles rebuild more effectively, and you feel less gassed between sets, meaning you can actually push harder in your workouts. That's not weakness, that's optimization. So how do you do it right? Keep it low intensity. Walk, bike, swim, 20 to 30 minutes, 3 to 4 times per week. The key is keeping it far enough from your lifting sessions, especially leg day. Ideally, on rest days, or at least 6 hours away from training. That way, cardio supports recovery instead of interfering with performance. Don't have time for that? Then go short and sharp. 2 10 to 15-minute HIIT sessions per week can deliver similar benefits. Just be aware, high-intensity cardio demands more recovery. You've got to balance the equation. Even pro bodybuilders, guys carrying insane amounts of muscle, do cardio. Not for fat loss, but for cardiovascular health, recovery, and hormonal balance. Some of them even start their mornings with a fasted walk, not to torch calories, but to stimulate circulation and mental clarity. That's not bro science, that's real strategy. Want a simple check? Track your resting heart rate in the morning. If it's consistently 5 to 10 beats above your normal, your body's stressed. That's a red flag. Time to pull back, reassess, and recover. Cardio can help regulate that too. The bottom line? Cardio done right doesn't kill gains, it fuels them. And once your system is firing on all cylinders, there's only one thing left to lock in: your nutrition. That's where the final piece of the puzzle comes together. 10. Eat with purpose. Why muscle growth demands. Diet precision. Let's get brutally honest. Most people don't have a training problem, they have a nutrition awareness problem. They're lifting heavy, grinding every session, taking their supplements. But when it comes to food, it's vibes and guesses. And that's where results go to die. Muscle doesn't grow out of nowhere. It needs fuel. It needs the right amount of fuel, at the right time, and from the right sources. And the only way to truly control that is by knowing exactly what and how much you're eating. Not roughly, not, I think I'm eating enough, but with precision. Start with your goal. Want to build mass? You need a consistent caloric surplus. Trying to cut fat? You need a real deficit. Want to maintain? You better be hitting balance with ruthless accuracy. And no, you can't guess. A study published in the New England Journal of Medicine found that people underestimate their calorie intake by an average of 47%. That's not a small gap. That's the difference between progress and stagnation. The fix? Track your food, at least for 2 to 3 weeks. Log everything. Weigh it. Use an app. It's not forever, but it will teach you more about nutrition in 21 days than most people learn in 21 years. You'll see where your calories are really coming from. You'll learn what your body needs to grow. From there, prioritize real food. Lean proteins, eggs, beef, chicken, fish. Carbs with value: rice, oats, potatoes, fruits. Healthy fats: olive oil, nuts, avocados. And cut the ultra-processed junk. Not just because it's empty, but because it inflames your body and wrecks your recovery. Every decision you make at the table either builds the foundation or tears it down. Can a nutritionist help? Absolutely. But even if you don't have access to one, becoming your own nutrition coach will change everything. When you fuel your body with intent, it responds with growth. And suddenly, the physique you thought was out of reach starts to feel inevitable. And if you've been watching this thinking, "Damn, I've been taking creatine all wrong," you're not alone. That's why we made a full video breaking down the most common mistakes and how to avoid turning a powerful supplement into a waste of money. Tap that video next and get locked in. You're not stuck. You're just missing a few key pieces. And now, you've got them. These habits aren't flashy. They're not going viral on social media. But they work. They shift your body from trying to grow, to having no choice but to grow. That's the difference between spinning your wheels and finally making the kind of progress that turns heads and builds real confidence. None of this is magic. It's consistency, strategy, and awareness. You don't need to change everything overnight. Just start with one habit, lock it in, then another, and another. Before you know it, your training hits harder, your recovery feels smoother, and the mirror starts reflecting exactly what you've been working for all along. So here's the question. What's the one thing you're changing in your training after this? If this video gave you at least one aha moment, drop a like, hit subscribe, and let's keep building this together. And if you want the kind of gains that last, not just show up for a summer selfie, subscribe, hit the bell, and be part of this journey for real. No fluff, no BS, just real strategies that work.